CHBC verse of the day.
And so we come to the next part of the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5:43 to 6:24, and just focusing on Matthew chapter 6 and verse 20. Jesus says, "But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal." It's very tempting to devote oneself to storing up treasures on earth. We want money, we want possessions, we want popularity, and so on. Rather, we must seek to store up for ourselves treasures in heaven. There, no moths or vermin are found. No thieves can break in and steal those things. The storing up of treasure in heaven involves giving to the work of the Lord. It involves praying, fasting, things like that. That's, I think, what Jesus has in mind. And above all, it requires a heavenly mindset, a mind that is set on what is both unseen and eternal, rather than on what is seen and only temporary. Store up for yourself treasure in heaven. If you do that, then all will be well. Matthew 6:20, "But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moths and vermin do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal."
CHBC verse of the day.
The verse I want to highlight today is a well-known verse, or it ought to be a well-known verse, Matthew 6:33. You'll find that verse in the Sermon on the Mount. We're going now from Matthew 6:25 through to 7:23. Matthew 6:33, there Jesus says, "But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Now, this is a fundamental verse of Scripture. First, there is the command, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness. There is to be a focus then. All our aim must be to seek what will take his kingdom forward, what will lead to his righteousness. And with that command then comes a promise. And the promise is that all these things will be mine as well. All the things he's been talking about in the context, then food and clothes and health and so on. That can all be forgotten about to some extent without a worry if we just focus on what really matters. And what really matters is the kingdom and the righteousness of Christ. Often we become rather anxious. We get concerned about the wrong things. Our priorities are all wrong. Well, there is no reason to make that mistake. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well.